Shigeru Miyamoto-san, we bless you for all that you've made. We pray that you bless this day and that you give us good talking ability and ability to talk about the things that you want us to talk about. Amen. Well, welcome back. Thank you guys. Sorry about joining us in the middle of our prayer to Miyamoto-san, our great friend and dear leader.
I only prayed to Sakaguchi-san. So.
Sakaguchi-san is dead!
No, he's not. He's very much alive.
That's not the guy who died, right?
No, that's the Final Fantasy guy.
Don't meet too soon, okay, Donna? Anyways, my name is Brank. And,
Jank.
And...
Brank Donna.
Brank Donna Gust.
Stank.
Yeah. And Stank. We're back for another episode of Super BS, and we are just here to... That's we don't have the money for a soundboard, so instead we have Jank here making up sounds.
That's right.
We're going to talk about games, and anime, and primarily anime. So,
Are we going to talk about cosplay?
So about Attack on the Titans Season 2, okay? I know we're all watching that. We're on episode 30, which is episode 5 in Season 2. We love it. We love all the characters. We love everything about it. Donna, tell me your favorite characters and why.
I loved the guy's mom, but she gets eaten in the very first episode.
Oh, you actually did watch the first episode. Yeah.
It's
actually a really good show.
My question is, why are all the giants naked?
Why would they be clothed? There's no clothes. What is there, a seamstress?
I feel like it's just part of making them as creepy as possible, because those things are creepy.
They are
really creepy.
I mean, I giant seamstress. So.
I briefly was in an anime, not appreciation, like an anime studies class in college, and we watched Attack on Titan.
It's actually really good.
Yeah,
you guys should finish.
I thought it was great.
Really...
I'm bad with watching shows. I just get bored so fast. Not specifically because of that show, but
yeah,
like,
it's hard.
I would just so much rather play games and watch TV.
I get
I'm not
that.
a huge episodic TV person.
For anime, for me, it's
Unless
not
it's
that
Simpsons, but
the Simpsons. Yeah, it's not that I get bored with anime. It's that I get distracted. Like if there's something else I want to watch, I'll stop.
It's more like it's because it's not specific to anime for me. Like even just like I've never finished Lost. I've never finished Breaking Bad.
Lost is pretty good. I mean, you don't even finish
because it's
Lost,
like when I think of the amount of time goes into watching these like supposedly really great TV shows, or like every episode is an hour. I know it's different with Attack on Titan, but like every episode is like, it's like how many seasons? There's like so much time, and it's like I would rather sink that time into games in my backlog.
That's why you got a thing called a Vita. That's why you got a thing called a Switch. This is why you got it. So, hey, I'm watching Attack on Titan. There's a boring scene I don't care about.
You can do
Boom.
that. I can't do that.
I can put on Seinfeld or The Simpsons or like South Park on repeat ad infinitum and then play handheld. But if I'm watching like an engaging show,
if it gets engaging, for sure, I put all that stuff down. And Attack on Titan is one of the hardest shows to watch because I watch it in Japanese because I never watched the dub one. I don't know if it's good. It's not even on like Netflix.
I know. Why is that?
I don't know.
It's really not. You can't choose?
No, you can't choose for that show.
Because I don't want to watch it.
Honestly, though, like
subs.
But you might want to watch it with subs because there are some. It's supposed to be like European people, and it's supposed to be like some people are like farm like people, and I can just imagine how bad the dubs are. Like, oh yeah, I live on a farm.
Dude,
like oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Like I probably might hate the show.
It's always the same like 5 or 6 voice actors.
Because they're the only people.
You have the guy that plays Vegeta doing like 20 voices on one show.
What's crazy is that you don't really have to be an anime fan to start to notice.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I remember the first time I was like, I forget what game I was playing. I was like, I'm pretty sure this guy was in Star Ocean 3. And I'm like, and then I think it's like the same dude is in freaking, I forget. I mean, it's like you get like the same four voices.
My favorite is the Dynasty Warriors dub. Did you guys ever play that game?
Oh, yeah.
They have like characters who have like New York accents for a game that takes place in feudal China.
I mean, it's the same thing in Star Fox 64. Don't potty just.
Yeah. At least there's space animals.
Dude, why is that? Okay, so they have all the dubs, but anytime that they do one that's based on like a Midwesterner or like someone from the South, it always sounds so bad and almost like
gee golly,
prejudice. I don't know if
it's how Southern people talk.
Final
I'm
Fantasy
sorry.
did that too with Cindy.
Oh,
and
Cindy.
Sid, yeah.
Cindy wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
though.
Cindy wasn't really bad.
They
She-
always
I
have to
have-
have one person like that in every
I mean,
game.
it was a little grating, but thankfully she wasn't like in the car with you the whole game.
Right.
Then I would have been like, bam. Shut up. They should have had a context sensitive turn around to punch, press square to punch consistently. Beating women, it's a part of our podcast. No, I'm just joking. Sorry, it's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Edit that out. Edit that, Jake.
Oh, Brian. Took a turn.
Took a turn for the worse.
Anyway.
You can edit that out later.
Probably need to in this day and age.
Yeah, right?
You probably need to, and definitely don't edit out and make a clip of it and then post it to whatever you post. Hey, see this funny thing? No, I
Check
took
it
out all
out. It'll be on Twitter tomorrow.
I take out all the context. I just put this
Look
on
for
there.
at Rank on Twitter.
At Brank attacking women. Anyways, about games, since we've now diverged and evolved
That was
and
funny
divested.
because you originally said anime as a joke, and we actually went on and talked about it for
Well, it's
a few
because we
minutes.
love it.
Yeah.
Don, I don't know if you remember our original podcast name, AnimeLandBoys.net, but to talk about the best name.
I do wonder, with like really bad game voice acting, like how that happens. Because there's like, I get when certain actors like aren't that great that are in like Hollywood movies and stuff like that. And it's like, you're like, okay, this person's not great. Like someone like I don't know, like a Megan Fox or something.
Oh,
like
but
that.
they're good looking, you mean?
Yeah, but
Yeah, you
even,
can't really
even,
see on
but
games.
even that, where it's like they're not great, but
Yeah.
it's not so bad that you're like,
Yeah.
like this is clearly like a student film
Well,
actor.
It's funny because you have some games where they spend a lot of money like on the game itself, and then they run out of money for the voice acting, so they
They get their
like,
brother.
the bottom of the barrel of voice actors and just get this terrible.
Right. So, but then I wonder though sometimes because it's like that consistently happens, like with like Tales games that have terrible voice acting,
Well-
which is our favorite game series.
Tales of
Tales
Rosaria.
of Rosaria. Well,
But it's like the acting is always so bad, but it's also so like appropriately anime, like for dubbed anime. And I wonder if like bad acting is like
they try to find that.
they
They're
want
"Is
that.
he
Like that's
bad?
like that's
Let's get
standard.
him." That's why
Yeah.
we should actually
Do
record
voice
our
subs?
voices. No, they actually have a game coming out called Xanadu or something like that. I found this casting
Xanadu's an
call.
old game.
Yeah, so they're remaking it.
Really?
And they're
That's
doing,
interesting.
if you want, which is really, really funny, you can actually be a voice in the game. You just send like a
dude.
voice sample, and so that's why we are gonna. They're looking for the worst voice actors you can.
Boom, right
So I'm
here.
gonna do it. I'm gonna be like, oh, don't potty
I'm
just
pretty
yet.
sure Xanadu's like an old anime. I mean, not an old anime, an old RPG.
Yeah, it is.
And
Yeah,
yes.
and it chooses like they give you like the voice types they're looking for, and then they give you like a line to say and the amount. It's really funny. I actually looked into doing it, and then I got super lazy. But it's still.
Is there
still available.
screenshots of this remake? I'm trying to look for it right now.
There's
actually.
screenshots of the voice acting. It's called like Xanadu.
Do you know who's doing a lot of good voice acting in anime and video games right now? Is Lena Headey from Game of
Why
Thrones.
is she in that stuff?
I don't know, but she's like.
What happened to
Dude, this
her?
game looks sick.
She's good. What is it?
I think it's Xanadu, right? Tokyo Xanadu behind the. Oh, not Tokyo Xanadu.
Please give us a moment.
Sorry.
As we,
We'll have to edit this out.
We're gonna have to edit out that joke anyway, so just edit this section out.
There's just a lot of editing.
Oh no, it's called Xanadu or something like that.
Xanadu? Okay. And it's. I saw the Kotaku, post of it.
Xanadu.
And I clicked on the link. I was like, that sounds actually kind of fun. It does kind of sound fun to record your voice and see if you could do it. I don't think it's paid, so
Well,
it's totally
okay.
in line with this.
Am
The
I looking
NES
at-
game I'm looking at is a spin-off of so.
I think I'm looking at the wrong one.
I'm
Alright.
all
1987.
casting call. I'm gonna check it out.
Well, either way.
Well,
Let's,
okay. So, anyways, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Casting call, fan translation of Legend of Xanadu, now holding auditions. And if you click on it, let me see. Man, this really suck at putting an easy to find link. Well, here it is. LOX dub project, and it gives you the listing for the characters and then what they main roles. It says Erios bio, the hero protagonist, and what they're looking for is late 20s medium to medium high, line count 140.
Why does it matter how tall you are if it's going into
Yeah, I know, right? They're like trying to figure out. It says medium to medium high. They're
medium to medium high pitched voice.
Oh.
You ruined it! You freaking
We need your
ruined
voice to
it!
be at least 5'6".
That's always one of the least believable things about translations, where it's like, you expect me to believe this big tall warrior dude is not only 18 but sounds like a preteen boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man. Well, that's why I do like it. Hey guys.
That's why Lost Odyssey, man, main character, deep voice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Man, best
And
game.
then they have those kids with the most
I
annoying voice
need to
acting
finish
ever.
that game. I still own it, and I wanna. I got really far into it, and then I never finished.
It's a good game. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, we actually need to start talking because I realized we've like chatted up a storm for about 30 minutes. What have you guys been playing? Donna, kick it off.
I have been playing Salt and Sanctuary,
Never heard of it.
and I also finished Vanilla Dragon Age Inquisition finally.
Okay.
And I finished the first.
When do you get to
DLC.
Chocolate Dragon Age Inquisition?
I go for Strawberry.
Strawberry.
It's a Neapolitan.
And my thoughts on that, several years late, I was surprised by the ending quite a bit, mainly the bit that has to do
Don't spoil it.
with certain characters.
Nobody's played Dragon Age yet. It's brand new.
Are they
so.
gonna make another? Are they gonna make another one? So do the deaths
So
matter?
they will.
Yeah.
But my understanding now, I haven't finished the DLC, and supposedly there's a DLC, not supposedly, but it takes place 2 years after the main game, and it leads into the next game.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that sounds like the next Dragon Age might actually be a direct sequel.
That'd be cool. Especially since Dragon Age 2 was not a direct sequel to Dragon Age
But
Origins.
neither is Inquisition.
Yeah,
No, definitely, but it'd be cool if they should have just named it like Dragon Age blah blah blah
Yeah.
instead of 2.
So is it one of those games where it all takes place in the same universe, but it's
Yeah.
is it on the same timeline?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dragon
same
Age,
universe, same
the
timeline.
time between Dragon Age 1 and Inquisition, I think, is 10 years.
Okay.
So it's not that far off, because the characters that you play as, well, for one, in Dragon Age Inquisition, you meet your character from Dragon Age 2.
Okay, so
You go on a mission
it
with
still
him.
has
That's
like
cool.
all the same like places and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like a short, fun cameo.
Yeah, and then it's all the same. It's like a continuous universe. The same as like Mass Effect. The whole impetus of Dragon Age, when BioWare was a better company, was that Dragon Age was supposed to be, instead of Mass Effect where you play Shepard's story, you get to craft your own story of the world of Thetis or Ferelden or whatever.
Okay.
So it's like, you don't play the same character every game, but you play the same storyline that shapes decisions. Like, who did you name king in the first game? Like, who did you do this? Like, that
so it
continues
all
forward.
rolls over.
Exactly.
Okay.
They definitely botched it with the third game, because they switched over to that terrible keep system. So it made it so that
It's kind of hard though. Like, what could they have done? You know, like they had to figure out something that would let people, you know, translate their actions.
it's just bad though. It's just
Yeah.
frustrating. It's frustrating because the keep itself theoretically is not bad, and I can see the long-term goodness to it.
Yeah.
But what's annoying is that it was like, you couldn't, if you played like they said you could upload your old games to the keep and it would
really?
work, and it doesn't. So it's like, when you have to go through the keep and customize all your decisions, it's like, I remember being very meticulous with my Dragon Age, with my second canon playthrough of Dragon Age Origins.
Okay.
And I don't remember it because it was like 5 years ago. So
Well,
it's
you're
like
expected to
having to
remember
go through and remake a bunch of decisions. Like, I remember the main ones, but I don't remember
you
the
need to
like.
remember every
Did
single
you give
side.
this ring back? It's like, I don't freaking remember.
No, that's
that
not
bit.
their fault that you don't remember every side.
But anyway,
Okay.
so my understanding is that Trespasser DLC leaves Inquisition with the idea that it might be, the next Dragon Age might be a direct sequel where you still play as the Inquisitor.
Okay.
I haven't experienced that myself because I haven't finished it, but I would be interested in that. I would love for it to be a much smaller game, because screw you, EA. Like, stop like trying to.
much time.
It's like,
It's
stop
a
trying
very
to hit
bloated
it.
game, yeah,
I mean,
it's
every game is
crazy.
bloated. It's because the big suits with all the money are like, oh, right now people want this, so make this. It's like,
It's especially bloated. Like,
Yeah.
from what I understand, Mass Effect Andromeda was bloated. Like,
super
hey,
bloated, yeah.
let's throw everything at these
Yeah.
people.
But
What about that second game, though? Because, I mean, Dragon Age we've heard about a lot.
Yeah.
What about Salts?
Salt and Sanctuary finally came out on Vita like a month ago, right? Something like that.
February.
February, 2 months ago.
On Vita?
No.
So
They do. Indie developers do. Like
Okay.
once every several months.
I mean, I don't have anything against the Vita.
Oh, you hate it. You
I
are
don't.
specifically this guy. Put in a anti-Vita hate
I
boy
broke
on
all
here.
3 of mine.
You had one?
No.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was a Steam PS4 release. The concept is supposedly like a Dark Souls side scroller.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very like brutal, challenging. You die a lot. It's very dark, but it's a side scroll. It's also like hand drawn looking. I don't know. Probably not. But it's like got like a cartoony look to it.
Yeah, Ska Studios. Maybe Dishwasher.
So it's not. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
They have an interesting aesthetic.
Yeah, it's a cool aesthetic. The game is a lot of fun. It reminds me of. It's not that similar. It reminds me of Rogue Legacy in that it reminds me of the feeling of playing Rogue Legacy on my Vita,
Okay.
where
It's a
once
good
I
game.
started, I just didn't want to put it down.
Yeah.
And it is like a side-scrolly, like action RPG kind of deal. This is obviously a lot more. Whereas Rogue Legacy is kind of like a just don't die kind of thing. This
Yeah.
game is similar, but there's a little bit. It's just a different strategy. But there's a lot of like dodging, a lot of like timing your animations and that kind of stuff like that based on your attacks. You gather salt, which is similar to souls, and you at sanctuaries you level yourself up, you increase your stats, you specialize in what type of character you're building. They have classes to choose from in the beginning, which Dark Souls does not have, I believe, right?
No, it does. It
Oh,
does.
that's right.
So it is, from what I understand, I haven't played it, you have, but it's
Wait, does Dark
very
Souls 1
similar.
have classes?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It so it has like 6.
remember
They're
that.
all there are stat changes, armor changes, and weapon changes. And so say you choose the paladin, you're going to start with a healing spell.
In Dark Souls?
Yeah.
I don't remember classes in Dark Souls 1.
It's totally like that. And then normally they
I
have
played Dark Souls 1 so much.
they have a class they can choose that's called like, I don't know, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a level 1 class with no extra stat boosts, but it's the best because the previous classes, they all start at like level 10. So you can totally adjust this character as much as you want and get extra points, but it's harder because you start at disadvantage and you have to kill the first boss.
Talking
before
about
you do
Dark
that.
Souls?
Yeah, Dark Souls.
Yeah. So anyway, they have classes. The downside to it that I'm discovering is that it's not a game that's easy to put down in the sense of
Not saves all the time.
No, it seemed I don't know because I always just put it in sleep,
Yeah,
so I never really
that's
have
not
that
too big a
issue.
deal.
What I mean by put down is that if you take a break for like a couple days,
Easy to
you forget where you're headed to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I remember I was exploring this place I was going down a staircase, and then I decided not to because it seemed like I was going to die and it wasn't the right way. So I went, and then like I have forgotten where that staircase is. So I'm like, like kind of in that where it's like I'm backtracking, I'm like going through different areas. Now it's fun to backtrack because the areas are not that big. Mm-hmm. They're big-ish, but they're not so big that they're unmanageable. But basically, you need to memorize the game.
Yeah.
If it's a little bit different because Dark Souls 1 didn't have a lot of backtracking, if I remember.
It doesn't, but there are spots. So say you go into like you want to backtrack, you can actually. Well, it's not even that. Like
But what I meant is
there's
that-
branching paths
'cause,
that you can like start here. So you're going to go back to the beginning at some point and go down the
But
second
in
path.
Salt and Sanctuary, you unlock powers that then give you.
It's a
different-
Metroidvania-esque game where you're going to do stuff that's not like Dark Souls.
Yeah, so you get powers where you can go back and then you can
Like
access
double
different
jumps,
areas,
right?
yes.
Like you're going to jump higher.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I recently unlocked a power where there's these black obelisks, and if you use this power next to them, you flip upside down.
So is it one of those games where they give you side quests, but some you can't complete until you have like
No,
the
I don't think there
abilities?
is a side. I don't think there are quests so much in this game. I
Just
haven't
areas.
encountered any. You basically, the story is that you're on an like your ship crashes on this island, and like the island of the nameless god or something like that.
Okay.
And then you just have to figure out how to get out.
Oh.
And so it's like, what are you gonna like? So you go through claiming sanctuaries, defeating bosses, like slowly learning the story of this island. But there's not like a quest mechanic that I've discovered in any way.
Okay.
You gather like items to upgrade your gear. You gather salt to upgrade your character. You encounter like random characters in like weird parts of the map, which is kind of cool. I talked to a scarecrow, who's apparently the most important character in the game.
Yeah.
And
Scarecrows are always. So.
Yeah.
course.
And then yeah, you can align with a creed, which is like a religion basically, and
They have that in Souls too.
yeah.
The sun. That's where the praise the sun comes from.
Yeah. But and then you claim your sanctuaries, which are kind of like the fires of Dark Souls, where it's where you like level up and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But you claim them in the name of like your religion, and then sometimes you come to ones that are already claimed the name of a different religion, so you have to use a different mechanic to like steal them, or you can change creeds. But there's something to leveling up your chosen creed that I haven't encountered yet. But I've beaten. I'm about. I think there's like.
Do each of the creeds have like their own perks?
Yes, but I haven't figured out exactly what they are.
Okay.
I think the perks have to do with like what's. No, I don't really know what the perks are. I think the perks are lore based, if anything. Like I
Okay.
picked. So the beginning. I think there's creeds you can unlock.
Mm-hmm.
But the beginning, you get to choose between basically these woodsmen. They're like atheists.
Okay.
Of some kind, where they like believe in the strength of nature or something like that.
Okay.
Then there's like the three gods, which are like it's like the common religion of the day.
Okay.
And then there's the goddess of light, who's like the ancient goddess, which is the one I picked because I'm all about the ancient.
That's
shiz.
what it's all about.
And yeah.
Well, we're going to actually probably talk more about this soon because I want to do a little bit of a feature on like roguelikes, and you mentioned that. But anyways, hashtag bring it to Switch. That's where we're starting. Hashtag bring it to Switch. What have you been playing, Jank?
I bought a Nintendo Switch.
Hashtag bring it to Switch,
Hashtag
man.
bring it to Switch.
Hashtag, that's what we're all about. Get
So
those
I've
hashtags
been
up
playing.
there.
I've been spending a lot of time Legend of Zelda.
And in the comments, please put hashtag bring it to Switch.
Hashtag bring it to Switch.
Because we're live right now.
Definitely.
It's okay. I'm gonna be upfront with you guys.
Shut up.
I've never played.
No, I'm just joking.
This is my very first Zelda game.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
I've never played any of the other ones.
You've never played Ocarina of Time?
Never.
Never played the original Zelda?
No.
My very first Zelda game was the very first Zelda game.
Flip table.
Okay, well, when I was a kid, I had a Game Boy. I didn't know.
You had a GameCube, you mean?
Whatever, yeah.
No.
I didn't know anything about Zelda. Like, I didn't know what any... Because I was never a Nintendo kid. I had Sega, and then I made the jump to PlayStation. I had never owned Nintendo stuff, so...
You had a Gamecast.
Gamecast. The only Nintendo, like, games that I knew were, like, Pokemon and Mario.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I never had played a Zelda before, and I'm diving into this one, and it's a really just beautiful game. Everything's really well done.
Where are you at?
I am at the second village. I just got there.
Hateno Village?
Yeah. So
Nice.
I haven't really explored much of that. It's a weird dynamic to have it so your weapons break.
I think it's actually cool in the end. It is really frustrating because there's very few games where you have stuff break so quickly. A lot of games have the mechanic, but normally it's like, oh, just take it to the blacksmith and fix it.
Yes,
This is just to try. One thing I do like is it forces you to try stuff. Most games I stick with something.
I'm fine with weapon breaking. I'm glad that there's no base building mechanics.
Oh, yeah. Well, there also is a
We talked about that last week. How I
Yeah.
hate that. I read an interview, not to side rail too much or derail,
Yeah.
but I read that interview on Kotaku with one of the dudes that was like part of Skyrim or something.
Oh,
or
no,
Fallout.
they're gonna have.
And he was talking about how they the idea for like building like a base in town was supposedly part for Skyrim, but it just didn't make it in.
Oh, thank God.
And I'm like so nervous now. If they start doing this mechanic in every game, I will never play a Bethesda game again.
I don't mind it if it's not required, but we'll need to talk about that later because like
I don't mind it if it doesn't have to be micromanaged.
If-
like
I just don't mind
you
if
have
it's
to
like
keep going
total
back to it.
side
Like
thing.
if it benefits me in some way, like gives me money, like if I'm restoring like a brothel or something.
That's why Fable 2 had the best purchasing like real estate mechanic. You just shut off the game.
Yeah,
you have like tons of money.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But anyways, okay, so
But yeah, I mean it takes me back, man. It's like a total nostalgia game for
Takes
me.
you back to games you've never played.
Yes. No.
So what do you think of the shrines? I just want to ask a couple questions, then ask you what else you've been playing real quick. What do you think about the shrines?
I like the
Shrines, like,
shrines.
many
I like the
dungeons you play.
puzzles. I had before we went on air. I had or not air, but whatever. This
Well, we're
is.
live right now. Please
Yeah,
comment
live,
in the chat
please.
how we're on air.
The live stream. If you missed it, that sucks for you. But
AnimeLandboys.net.
and yeah, the thing with the ball was frustrating for me because
Yeah, whatever.
I'm
The
not
ball.
coordinated. But
Everybody hates on that one. I'm like, it takes like 5 minutes. Like, it's not that big a deal. But
I'm
you'll
not-
read reviews where people are like, this is the worst ever. I'm docking it. Blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, man, there's 120 of these shrines.
I mean,
Skip
and
it.
if I couldn't do it, I probably would have just moved on to
Yeah.
something else. But like, I'm not coordinated enough for stuff like that.
It's tricky. I'm not going to say like it's a super great design puzzle. Anything that uses like, I think it's called haptics or motion controls are always going to have like issues. They're always wonky.
For me, it's not the fact that it's challenging. It's the fact that the camera angles bothered me.
Yeah.
I couldn't like switch it back to.
And you've played this type of puzzle ball game. You tilt the. This is a famous old type of game. Tilt the screen or tilt the board, and the ball moves. You want to get in the hole. But yeah, it's not as bad as people say. But anyways, any other impressions you have about it?
No, I mean so far I like it. I don't know how far into the game I'm getting. I like
How many shrines have you done?
I've done probably 7.
How many dungeons?
No dungeons.
You got a long time to play the game.
Well, I mean, because I've just been turning it on, playing it in my free time.
It's an awesome game, but I would say I spent about 70 or 80 hours with it. I got all
That's how I've been with
120.
Salt and Sanctuary too, which
Yeah.
is a little hard. Like you
Yeah.
need to sit down and
Play.
kind of like
focus on it.
Yeah.
So that is something I wish, and this is why I keep pushing Bring It Switch, hashtag Bring It Switch, for Salt and Sanctuary, is like, I like the idea that's on PS4 and Vita, but I want the idea where it's like, hey, I'm playing on the go, and then boom, dock it at home,
You know
play
what?
it quick.
I know I wouldn't. Based on my experience with the game now, I think I would really not enjoy it playing it on a big screen.
But you never know that till you've done it. Like, I
true.
like that idea. Like, we had
being
the
able to do
It
game.
just feels so
like the
perfectly mobile for me.
We had the GameCube, and we had an adapter on our GameCube that let you play Game Boy Advance games. And it was like the coolest thing ever.
Like how you make it
because
sound like we shared a GameCube.
we had one GameCube. Neither of us.
Just one.
We had the
We,
one.
of course, had different parents, so we lived in different houses.
But we had this one GameCube. We kept it between our houses and by the tree.
I mean, everything on GameCube is overshadowed by Phantasy Star Online. So
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, that idea where I could play the game on my Game Boy Advance, because games were saved on the cartridge, take it into like my GameCube at home and play it. I loved that. That was such a cool idea and like concept. They've made it now. Like, I want to do that whenever I want to do that. I like Salt and Sanctuary because you can share save. I actually don't know if you can
Wasn't
share
that
content.
the whole thing with the was the small PSP? They were bragging about how the
PSP Go.
They were bragging about how you could pull you could play games.
So it's the
out
same.
of your console.
Vita is the same as that. Like, these games have cloud share.
It's classic Sony
Yeah.
bragging. Like, hey, this is a thing.
Look
It's
what
got
we can
Sony's
do.
logo on
The,
it.
Yeah.
the only negative is you're going to constantly have to upload saves, then download saves. Like, it's not like a super big process, but it's annoying enough that
I
I'm
get
like,
that,
hey,
yeah.
I don't want to do that, especially if I'm not next to Wi-Fi, or especially if I'm not at my house Wi-Fi where I have to connect to it. Anyways, anything else you've been playing before we get too far into all
No,
this?
that's it. I did have a question for you guys. What do you think the odds are of them bringing an original Final Fantasy title to Nintendo Switch?
Pretty high.
Good, yeah. I mean, I don't
They
know if it's
have,
going to be a
it
number.
won't be a numbered,
Yeah.
but
just
it'll be like a
Crystal
they had like
Chronicles.
Crystal
Crystal
Chronicles.
Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get something like Bravely Default. That'd be
That would be
awesome.
amazing.
Like, Bravely Default's a great 3DS title and series. I'm hoping there's some stuff we're going to talk about in the news that makes me a little bit more worried about that stuff coming anytime soon. But I'm hoping that they're just, hey, this is going to be all in. I real quick want to just run over the quick stuff I've been playing.
Wait.
Oh, have you been playing something else?
Brian, what have you been playing?
Oh man, I'm just sorry. We're gonna edit this so I can take him outside for his daily beating. Been aggressive and violent today. Sorry guys, I haven't been going to anger management like I
Jeez.
said.
Hide your wives.
I got edit this out. Edit this out. I picked up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's
Yeah.
really cool. I was talking to Donna in the car. They took out the unlocking mechanic,
Ugh, it's the
which
worst thing I've ever heard
is
in my
the
life.
dumbest thing ever.
That's what made the other one worth playing, though.
Yeah,
because
as
you
you-
got
yeah,
stuff.
I'm saying I'm actually surprised because you were saying that on the on the interwebs that people love that.
Yeah, people. It's like down. If you see
And
like
I
the
can't,
posting
I
comments,
can't,
like,
like,
hey,
I don't even
this.
know that actually changes the game to a no buy if I get a
Yeah.
Switch. Because I played the hell out of the game on the Wii U, and that's like my favorite thing about a Mario Kart because you get burnt out playing the same courses over and over again, and then you unlock a new cup, and you're like, oh man.
So-
Or new characters or
What is-
something fun.
At this point, what is the incentive for playing the game besides being able to
It's just
play
good
it?
and fun. It's
Yeah,
it's
and
a
the game is
multiplayer game.
is fun.
Yeah,
you know,
and they did add a battle mode. That was something at the Wii U they had, but it was super lacking. It was just like this course, and you just drive around and shoot each other. So they have a really detailed battle mode. They added all the DLC stuff, which I own the Wii U one. I played like once or twice, but I never bought any of that.
Yeah.
It's cool, but yeah, you're right. It is a little bit of a bummer. I didn't realize how much I would dislike the idea of having nothing to unlock besides getting a little medal that says you won. You know.
Hey.
I've also been playing Kamiko. Have either of you guys seen that?
No.
I showed
you showed
Jank
me,
real
yeah.
quick, but it's
Kamiko Elements of Power from
Kamiko
Xbox.
Elements of Power on a Cameo.
Oh
you
my
mean?
gosh, I have not thought about that game.
It's on Rare Replay. Get it now.
Is it
boy.
really?
Yeah, it's on
I
Rare
didn't realize
Replay.
it
You
was
guys
on
need to get
Rare
Rare Replay. It's like $20 now. It's got 30 great games. Anyways, enough about that. Kamiko is like a top-down Zelda light game where you run through these things, clearing these shrines. It's $5. It's on Switch. It takes about 50 minutes to beat as each character, and there's 3 different characters. They each have 3 distinct
Thinking of
play styles.
Faroon or something like that.
So it's the company who made Faroon. It's supposed to be just way better. I never played Faroon.
There's 2 with Faroons, I think.
Yeah, on 3DS. So this is the first one they made for Switch. It's just a great idea.
Keep
It is. Okay. He's dying. Call 911. Oh, sorry, this is not live stream. So, do you want me to pause this, boy?
Keep talking.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'll explain it then to you, Donna. Kamiko's like, you go around, kill stuff, solve light puzzles, open these shrines. After you solve 4 shrines in each place, you go to a boss. It's really fun. Each stage takes about between 6 and 10 minutes, and there's 4 stages. Beat the game. I've played it through with 2 of the characters. I'm on my 3rd one. Besides that, I played a little bit more Persona. It's got some good stuff, got some really boring, annoying stuff. I have kind of fallen a little bit out of it because what I have left to do is a lot of like grindy stuff.
And what is this?
Persona 5.
So is this the main game in Persona, or is this
Yeah,
just
the main.
all the
There's
extra?
only a main game, but
Okay.
there's I'm in like. So they have main dungeons, and then they have like this big dungeon that you go through, and you can do side quests in there. And that's where I saved it right before I did those. And those are literally just you grind a bunch of stuff, kill the guy. There's none of like the social elements that make the game interesting are there.
Yeah.
And then actually, I know I've been playing a lot of stuff. I played a lot of titles for short periods of time. So I also played Alien Isolation. Do you guys remember that?
I
It's
do.
old, right?
Yeah, it
How
came
long
out-
is it supposed to be good?
Yeah, it's actually
Like terrifying?
yeah.
They kept pushing the release date back for that one, right? Because it wasn't ready to be.
I don't know. It came out in 2014. I picked it up for like $7 a couple years back, and I never got a chance to even like turn it on. It's really cool. The only thing that makes me think I won't get to play it much is it's to keep it terrifying. They have set save points, so you can't just like save wherever. So it's like a game where you need to like go to a save point, then play till you're.
So
willing to
when
do
you
the
say
next-
terrifying, is it, oh crap, I'm gonna have to go back to this spot, or is the game actually scary?
I think
I've heard
it's
the
like
game's supposed to
AI,
be.
the AI of the alien. Is
Yeah,
like,
and there's actually cool stuff that I didn't want to do because I don't have the patience for it. But you can turn on the Kinect so it'll sense your head, so you can like peek around corners, and you can turn on the Kinect so it'll sense noise inside of your house.
Oh.
So in case you make too much noise, the alien will be able to find you. It's really really cool ideas that like even though I have a Kinect, I'm not gonna use because it just sounds annoying in case
Yeah.
somebody makes a noise, you know. But I played that, and then I've dabbled with a lot of stuff. I played the Puyo Puyo Tetris demo, which I think we may have talked about last week. It's like a Puyo Puyo and Tetris. If it was $20, I'd buy it today, but it's a $30 game, and as much as I like Tetris and Puyo Puyo, Puyo Puyo is a Dr. Mario-esque style game. I don't think I really want to spend $30
Right.
on that. Otherwise, yeah, I played a few other things, but I don't really want to get too much into all the things I played because everything I played for anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. So I didn't play like a ton of stuff. Kamiko was probably the thing I played the longest, and that was an hour and a half. Anyways, let's take a quick break and come back and talk about some sweet shit.
Yeah.
Guys need to go to the bathroom or anything or no?
Okay.
All right, we can come
I
back.
did in the middle of that, but now I don't.
Okay.
So.
I want to. The reason why I
I almost made us take a break.
I wanna-
It's like totally
Bowel
gone.
movement.
I wanted to talk about roguelike stuff because he was asking me about Binding of Isaac. But beyond that, what news stories do you guys have to talk about?
I do want to talk about how the creators of that 2D Zelda Breath of the Wild got.
Oh yeah, they always get hit with. But yeah, you can talk about that. I want to bring up the new Nintendo 2DS XL because it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard about. Anything that you think about? No, we'll just talk about like a topic or two and then.
Yeah,
What was
I
the
can't
other-
think of anything.
What was the other thing?
We talked about the Prey thing.
The Prey.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that?
I mean, I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not really a whole
You
lot
can-
to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can talk about it. Well, anyways, I'll bring us back and I'll let you talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
And we're back.
No phone calls?
No phone calls. No phone calls from Reggie-san today. Reggie-san or Phil Spencer-san.
Phil Spencer-san.
There's actually, real quick, I want to divert to a really funny thing where I listened to a podcast that's recorded in Japan by a bunch of, I assume, white dudes who work in translation and localization over there. And I assume it's a Japanese thing that they've picked up. But even like Reggie and Gabe Newell, they will say like, oh, Newell-san. And I just think it's the stupidest, best thing ever that people say.
Easy there, pranks on.
So, there, pranks on. So, what the HE double hockey pucks has been happening in the news?
It's not a whole lot, honestly.
Heyo.
Like, there was the Zelda, the people who made the 2D version of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Wait, what do you mean?
Or the
Top down?
top down, yeah.
So, like the original Zelda? Sounds
yeah,
pretty
it's Breath of
sweet.
the Wild, but it's yeah.
And what about that sweet?
The Nintendo hit him with a cease and desist order. Not that we didn't know that was going to happen.
They hit
always does
every
happen.
single game. Pokemon Uranium, cease and desist. I heard the Metroid 2.
Remaster.
Yeah, that thing is supposed to be amazing. Cease and desist. I get it. They don't want people making their games.
See, no,
stupid,
I
but
understand that, but like a lot of these people who make these like knockoff games
Yeah.
are really talented. I don't know why they don't scout them
I
instead
don't-
of like.
Yeah, well, maybe they do.
Nintendo wouldn't do it because their heads are inside their butts.
Yeah,
So it's
so
like
their buttholes and they
they're
can't
like,
see
oh,
out their
man,
buttholes.
Shoved it right up there.
Yeah.
There's a whole internet thing about this Metroid remake that everyone would want to play. Like,
what's
why
the
don't we
internet?
make it?
Yeah, right.
And they're like, nah, we've got this game called Splatoon. It'll satisfy all our Metroid fans.
Donna, what's the internet? No, it is really dumb. They're gonna do that constantly. The main thing I don't get is why these makers keep making this. Why don't they make their own games? They're like really, really talented, and I get that they love the properties.
Well, I mean,
but
at the
they're
end of
gonna
the day,
get
can these people just make those games for themselves and play them?
Yeah, they can. I mean, that's what they do.
This
and
is
then
the thing, though, about this goes back to what we were always talking about with Nintendo. Like people, yes, they could make their own games, but unless it has like a Nintendo, people won't even really care about it unless it has like some sort of popular name brand attached to it.
But they can't make any money off this stuff anyway, so why do they care if people care about it? I mean, just to see their work? I mean, that's cool.
To see their work, maybe they're looking for a job. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, that's all good points. I mean, I personally think Nintendo doesn't make any errors ever in the history of time, and that's why
no, definitely not.
this week when they announced the new Nintendo 2DS XL, the best, greatest invention ever, I was like mind blown.
The greatest console nobody wanted.
We don't need a Switch at all. That's stupid. Get rid of that junk, man. Let's get all this Nintendo 2DS
Let's
XL.
cancel the SNES Classic and give the people something that they don't want.
Let's give the people what they want. Exactly that. What do you guys think about the new Nintendo 2DS XL? How many copies are you going to buy each?
I feel like we're living in the timeline of Chrono Trigger where Chrono dies and you haven't revived him yet.
I like that analogy.
I think that's a metaphor for Nintendo.
Oh man, this is I don't actually understand why they're doing this.
Or we're living in the world of ruin, Final Fantasy VI, where the world has been destroyed.
Gotta
Kefka
go to
is
those
warm,
towers.
and Nintendo's on the brink of saving things, but they're still just kind of being Celeste hanging out at Sid's cabin catching fish. So
Gotta get her. Oh man, that's the best part of that game is when you go to that. That's such a cool part of that game.
actually, yeah, every part of that game is the cool part of that game.
But yeah, I don't know why they're doing it. I know the 3DS, now the 2DS, has a great lineup of games. I get it. I loved it. I don't know why they're going to release a new handheld. Like at $150 price point, supposedly the reasoning is that we need something between the $79 price point of the 2DS and the $200 price point of the 3DS XL. So, or
What's
now
the
they want the
okay,
$150.
2DS, 3DS, what's the difference?
Just no 3D. It's actually the 2DS plays 3DS games,
So
but
it's
there's
just,
no 3D.
it's just a standard Game Boy then.
Right, but it's I mean, it's got the dual screen, of course, but it's just that way because it doesn't have the 3D mechanic, which is pretty much optional for the game.
Okay.
So,
a lot of time.
like, I never use it.
Yeah. I like turned it on for a minute, looked at something, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and shut off.
I would randomly do that with Dragon Quest VII and things like that, but for the most part, and Bravely Default, but
Yeah.
Like-
I saw it every once in a while. It just
Yeah.
wasn't like something I wanted to play with, like for the full time.
yeah. So it just takes away. So I guess that means that it's either cheaper to make or has more battery life or something like that. But
I assume all of those, and I assume it's great. It just seems weird to release it at the time where they just released a portable console that doesn't have enough games.
See, everybody keeps talking about how the Switch is going to be the next portable like it's basically the next Game Boy, but Nintendo doesn't seem to be listening to their fans.
I think it. I don't know.
I mean, how long did they release regular DS games after the 3DS came out?
Not very long.
Because the 3DS was pretty much like, like a sleeper hit at first. Like it didn't do that well.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually did so poorly because they were selling it for $250 that they dropped it down to $179. And if you bought it at the $250 price, they gave you Game Boy Advance games called from the Ambassador thing or something like that. And the funny thing is, they never released those Game Boy Advance games, so you can't buy them. So only the people who are original 3DS buyers can purchase those games. It's crazy.
It's such a confusing amount of stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like, man, Nintendo just
release all those Game Boy Advance games. Let people buy them. You gave them the games for free. That's still an Ambassador thing.
They just don't want to make money. That's it.
It's not that they don't want to make money. It's like they don't want to. It's almost like they don't want to. They don't want to satisfy, they don't want to meet anyone's desires. They want to, blow people's minds with things they don't expect.
I guess.
Where it's like...
we weren't expecting this.
What's the... what's that game? The Snipper one.
Snipper Clips. That's actually really rad.
Right, so it's like, they're like, hey, we didn't give you all of the hundreds of virtual console games that you want, but Snipper Clips was better than you thought it would be, huh?
Yeah, right.
And that's
not even
their
them.
thing.
That was another developer that they brought in second party to release the game.
So it's like they don't want to redeem their tarnished name by just
doing the
being
stuff
a buddy
you want
and doing things you want, like what Microsoft is always trying to do, where it's friendly neighborhood video game company. They're like, no, we're not going to give you what you want. We're just going to try and come up with something weird that you like.
Yeah, I mean, I would buy a 2DS XL, honestly, if it wasn't for I own a Switch. I have something that plays these games. I have a 3DS XL or new 3DS XL, which is, to be honest, the new one is kind of pointless. The only game that really uses it, there's only 3, but Xenoblade Chronicles and Hyrule Warriors. And Xenoblade Chronicles sounds cool to be portable, but I want it on my Switch. I don't want to play it on a console where it runs at 15.
The Xenoblade Chronicles, the music is all gimped in that one.
Oh, really? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Which is the best part of that game.
It's a small, it's a big game that they put on a really tiny handheld, you know, that is not very powerful. It's not as powerful as the Vita. But anyways, that's kind of it for our Nintendo roundup this week. There wasn't a ton of new stuff. They've got a lot of games coming out in May, Minecraft, all that stuff. But nothing...
You didn't hear about the Super Nintendo 64 Classic?
Yeah, Super Nintendo 64 Classic. Breaking news.
No, man.
Guaranteed it's going to have all the games and all the fans are right now they're saying they're going to do remakes. That's the worst part of all this Nintendo stuff is they have somebody releasing leaks that are always false. Oh man, they're going to release Paper Mario 1000-Year Door.
Off the trail.
And we're going to get the Virtual Console. And the original leak for the Switch was that it was going to release with both Super Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild. And it was going to be so cool. I was like, this isn't even possible. And it was going to release with Smash Brothers for Wii U and GameCube Virtual Console games and a Virtual Console. It's I should have realized at that point.
No way.
It's Nintendo.
And it was almost believable because of how poorly they've performed as a company.
Yeah, you're
oh,
they're going to do stuff.
Yeah, it's
finally give us what we want.
Nope. No, you think that.
Yeah.
It's like that voice in Jurassic Park. Ha ha ha. Or whatever that voice. Ha ha ha.
Otherwise, there wasn't a ton of new stuff. There's Bethesda's being a troll again, like trolling everybody who tries to use any of their trademarks.
Yeah.
What was that one?
They're canceling my game Elder Trolls.
Elder Trolls.
Elder Trolls.
Elder Trolls Breath of the Mild. It is, they did have a game called Prey for the Gods or Prey of the Gods or something like that, which they had to change because they had the word pray in there to now it's Prey, which is Prae as one single letter word or single letter then character and then Y. Pray for the gods. A game we're all super excited about. I won't play it anymore because I only want to play when it was Pray for the gods and now it's Pray. But no, I actually wanted to discuss roguelikes real quick before we end it today. Well, Jank over here was asking me about Binding of Isaac and how it was, and you were bringing about Salt and Sanctuary, and I think you, Donna, are the only person who's played Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
What do you think of it? And what do we think about roguelikes as a whole? And what do we think about roguelikes versus roguelites? Roguelites are generally, and people hate these terminologies, but roguelites are generally games where your statistics or items can be permanent, like Rogue Legacy. Whereas like a roguelike is where the game always resets, you lose all progress, and you have to restart again, like as a blank slate.
Yeah.
So a Spelunky, from what I understand, Binding of Isaac, are all games where nothing continues and you keep restarting.
Yeah,
and I could be wrong.
Every time you play?
Every time you play. Like Tumbleseed, a game that just came out, supposedly has there's like a roguelite element where you can choose a stat thing that will do both a positive and negative thing.
Are you talking about like how Sonic the Hedgehog, you had to restart every time you wanted to play?
It's exactly Sonic the Hedgehog, the roguelike.
Well, no, it is.
It is like that, yeah. You run out of
yeah.
lives, you die, you start the game again. But we nowadays don't have to deal with that, you know? But you played Binding of Isaac, right?
Yeah, barely.
What do you remember of it? What do you think about it? Like,
who made Binding of Isaac?
The guys, I don't know their name, but
Super
Meat Boy. But it wasn't the two of them. It was just the dude who did the drawings for all those games. Like Ed McMullen, Indie Game the movie. You guys should watch it. He's in it.
So I think I enjoyed it. I think it made me feel a little bit too much like I was playing something from Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
So it's like that like generation of cartoons where everything was like, you know, like giant cartoon butts and like that kind of like that like that post Ren and Stimpy style.
Yeah.
And I'm actually not super into that. So I didn't stick with Binding of Isaac because I tend to stick with games that are aesthetically interesting to me. Yeah. It was actually a really interesting game. The setup and like the concept and the look of it I thought was interesting and unique. It just didn't hold my particular attention. But
do you remember though if every run was totally...
you know it's funny. I played the game for a little bit and my impression was that like I remember because that game came out a while ago.
Yeah,
I think that was before the term roguelike was a big buzzword.
It's always been around, but yeah, it wasn't as popular as it is now.
I remember hearing Binding of Isaac, like the pitch to me was like this game is like Legend of Zelda. So it's like top-down dungeon exploring kind of deal. And that's what it reminded me of. I don't remember dying and then starting the game again.
I think that's the case. So this was brought up because Jane got a Switch. It's on Switch. Supposed to be the best version of it. It's actually got co-op, which I almost picked up just for that because that sounds fun. But I believe I read recently somebody mentioning that when they used to play Binding of Isaac, they could only get down to the second or third floor before dying. Now they can do the whole run, the whole game without dying and finishing it. So I assumed, and I could be wrong, I tried finding this information online. Because honestly, persistent stats make rogue lights enjoyable. Like, I want to play Flint Hook. Because, hey, if you die, you get to use the money that you got to build up your character and try again. Just kind of like Rogue Legacy was. And the game becomes more and more fun and you get stronger and stronger.
Rogue Legacy was so
Rogue
fun.
Legacy is the best roguelite or any type of... It's just such a good game. I hope they make a sequel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Roguelikes like Spelunky, I don't like that type of game where you die and then you just literally start again and you have to somehow beat the game in one run. And you'll pick up power-ups while you play, but it doesn't persist.
Okay.
So there's a game called Enter the Gungeon that's very similar, or Nuclear... I can't remember what it is, but it's a PS4 game that was really big, and you have guns and stuff, and every time you try to get your run further and further, they got bosses after like you do 3 or 4 levels, and then you go down another level through the thing, but every time you die, you start at the beginning. What is your experience with these games? Have you played any?
No,
I
I mean
like
I
this.
didn't even know these terms until you just spoke them today. Like I
Sorry, Jank is now kicked off the podcast.
Third term is roguelike.
Roguelike.
Which is my idea for a roguelike game where you kill Nazis.
Rogue right.
perfect. Yeah.
And every time the Nazis respond, your
Now, I
goal
want
is
to
to
make
get
it
to Hitler,
clear that we are against Nazis and that this game is about killing them.
killing them,
Correct.
and pro-Nazis. Just joking.
Nope.
We're killing pro-Nazis?
Killing
No.
we are killing pro-Nazis
So
and Nazis, and pro-Yahtzee players.
Pro-Yahtzee. Okay. I mean,
Everybody has.
I guess on a scale of evil, they're kind of just as
Yeah,
bad. So,
pro Yahtzee players. This would actually be an awesome game. Almost as cool as like, did you guys ever see that game about dad pants or something like that? There's a game where you're a dad and you wear ripped off, cut off jeans and you go through a dungeon. I don't remember what the point of it is, but it's just like the cool, like Sun Quest or I can't remember what it is, but it's like I'll have to show it to you guys after this. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see the genre like evolve and see if they do cooler stuff, but. About Binding of Isaac, I don't know if you're gonna get it or try it or.
I was debating
Okay, I mean,
because after I finish Zelda, I mean I don't know what I'm gonna do.
well, you only have about 2 hours in a 70-hour game, so by then there might be 40 games out. Aren't you getting Prey tomorrow?
I'm getting Prey tomorrow.
So okay, yeah, you've got plenty of stuff to play. But yeah, the summer's gonna be slow. The summer's gonna be a real slow time in gaming. With E3 coming up, though, we'll get hopefully that Final Fantasy VII remake that
Hey, yeah. While we're talking about that, what do you think the odds are of them re-releasing the whole Final Fantasy VII anthology with that game?
Oh, you mean like Shadows of Cerberus or
Well,
Dirge
no,
of
I mean like
Cerberus and,
I would love to play Crisis Core and
I'd like to play
Shadow
Crisis
of
Core too.
Cerberus on
Or Dirge of
PlayStation
Cerberus.
4, Dirge of Cerberus. I would love to be able to play those.
and the phone game that never came out here, where you're Reno and Turk.
I don't really. That's whatever for me, but like I would like to play
Reno.
like the full story of Final Fantasy VII.
I don't think you're gonna get that, man.
see,
Maybe. I mean, that would
Yeah.
be easy
I mean,
money for them.
I mean, if they were like HD ports kind of deal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did it with Type 0, and that did not play well. They could
Right.
literally do the same thing if they wanted to.
Yeah, I could see that. I already played all those games except for the phone one, but
I don't think they're gonna do it though. I mean, why would they? They haven't even made Crisis Core playable on like anything besides PSP, and I've been waiting to play that game for such a long time. I don't own a PSP. It's like the only console I've never owned.
You can't get it digitally on the Vita, or
You can't get it on Vita. That and Birth by Sleep are like two of the games I'm like, why isn't this digital?
well, Birth by Sleep makes sense because they've re-released it.
But I mean, for a long time there, you had no options. You know, you were like, you had to wait till the PS3, and now PS4 remake came out.
I mean, I have my PSP, so
It's just,
but I've already beaten Birth by Sleep, so I don't need to do that again.
okay. So, do you want to talk more about E3 hopes and dreams, or do you want to talk more about Final Fantasy VII specifically?
Yeah, it would be interesting to play that whole. But the thing is that there's so little knowledge about what the remake of 7 is going to be like, and there's still a lot of like a very high percentage of it being ruined by over bloating the story with more nonsense.
Yeah, I hope they don't add
Dirge of Cerberus is kind of a fun game. It reminds me of that era of PS2 games where it was like
the bouncer.
No, it's a lot later than the
I
bouncer.
know, but I just remember the
you
bouncer.
have these kind of like action-y, cinematic-y games. Like it's like a Devil May Cry kind of game.
Yeah.
It's not quite as mechanically dense, but
what I did like about it though is that you can play it fast. Like you can go through it in like 4 hours.
I enjoyed it quite a bit actually. I definitely played through it. I think Crisis Core is definitely the winner out of the Final Fantasy VII extended universe. Yeah. Crisis Core has some weird mechanics, some weak moments, but ends really strong.
Did you beat the whole thing?
Yeah.
How long does it take to play?
I beat it like 6 or 7 years ago, so I really don't remember. I don't think it's that long.
This stuff, because we're actually not, it sounds like we're not going to talk about E3 and more like about this. I'm just hoping that there's a future where these games that are getting old and harder to find ways to play, that they just start releasing these on more things that have continuous persistent services. Like Microsoft has said for Xbox that as long as the brand is around, you'll be able to play all previous iterations from this point forward and whatever they add.
Or even still, let us purchase it on old stuff. Like if we still have it, don't you know, make a way.
I just think
if we download it digitally, like make a way for us to play it.
I guess, yeah. That's a hard, tricky thing. Like, I would rather them just release it to some service that they make in the future where we can consistently play this. I don't understand why we're still living in the age of generations. Like, why I on my Switch I now need to rebuy or spend money on all the stuff that I bought time and time again. And that same thing goes for PS4.
Right, and I think this would put an end. Like, they're always complaining about people using ROMs and emulators.
Yeah.
I think that this would
Which is stupid, because if you don't give people options, of course people are going to use ROMs and emulators.
Yeah. So
it's the dumbest thing ever to be like, well, you know, we don't want you to use that. We'd rather have you buy it from somebody we don't even know that's selling it for $700 on eBay. It's like, you get nothing from that, and you want us to spend like $700 or whatever buying this game? Like, I mean, it's because legally, from what I understand, ROMs are actually legal if you own the game. If you own the game, it actually becomes like this weird point where you have paid the right for the license and you're able to use it on your computer. I don't know if that's true. I am a lawyer now. I just got my bar this moment. It's literally, I got a Snickers bar.
Snickers bar. Okay.
At a bar.
I guess it's kind of interesting too when I think about that. It's like, I will probably never play Crisis Core again.
Yeah, I'd love to play it once.
You know, because I've played it.
Yeah.
I'll play depending on how long, like as far as like the remake kind of thing is concerned, it just depends. If the remake sucks, I will play it once. This is for Final Fantasy VII. If the remake is 300 hours, I will just play the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. I don't think the remake... I think all of these episodes are going to be like 5 hours each.
That'd be
I
great.
don't think they're going to make... It's going to cost... If you saw how good that game looks, every single piece of it's going to take them so much money and so much time
Do you think
I don't
they
think
still give you the option to go out and level up your characters, though?
I don't even know, man, because the game's going to be played more like 15, which is great. I love the 15 battle system.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like the grind fest that 7 was. I don't think there's going to be...
7's really not that much of a grind fest unless you want it to be that.
But there is random battles on the map. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think you're going to see that anymore. Like, I think like 15, where, you know, you saw the planes coming overhead and you said, I don't want to do this, I'm going to run away.
Yeah.
You're going to get those options, you know? Like...
There's random battles on 15's map.
Yeah, there is, but you can avoid all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you literally just run away.
Well, if they make the leveling system like Final Fantasy 15, then I think I'll be okay with it.
I don't know, because that would negate the materia system.
Yeah, I don't think they should change the leveling system at all. I don't mind them changing the combat system just because it's a really old game. But especially if they do the 15 where they offer a wait mode. Like, that's cool, because that actually...
I'm more concerned with their reinterpretation of the story. Like, if they change Cloud to be, like, mopey and not douchey.
Yeah.
Like, if they make it so that... Like, if they just tweak it so much that it's, like, a whole different thing, like, I don't know if it'll drive me to play it more than once. I don't mind the mechanic change, really. That's not going to be an issue for me, because... Yeah, because I can go back and play Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the cool thing. It's kind of hopefully going to be like a remix, essentially. Like, you don't want your remix to be the exact same thing. That's what you have remasters for, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they already remastered 7. You can play it on PS4 today.
Yeah, but there's very like select... Like, it's funny because the issue of backwards compatibility, but also releasing old games, is very weird because for the most part, I play RPGs... And most of them take a long time. Like, I won't replay most of the games that I really love. Like, I will probably never play Star Ocean 3 again. I already spent however many hours.
I never beat it, so I'd like to play
I beat it.
Yeah.
I might play I could see myself playing Radiata Stories again.
Yeah, man. That game needs to... They need to do something with that.
And it's not because I didn't love Star Ocean 3, but it's a long freaking game.
Yeah.
Like, I will probably replay every Final Fantasy game at some point, because I do that. I mean, I play Final Fantasy 4 like once a year. But I have that game down to a science because I've played it since I was 4. So,
and I hope if we keep getting into this generation of like remakes and stuff, I'm hoping we get stuff like, I thought the 4 remake on DS where they did the 3D graphics was kind of cool.
It is cool, and it's great. But I've only played it once, and we'll probably if it comes, because now on the DS it's like so non-high def, like HD.
Yeah.
Like they have like the iPad version, which is like smoother, and they have like I think they have it on Steam, which is smoother too.
Wait, which game are we talking about?
Final Fantasy 4.
Okay.
But otherwise, the remake is such a slower game than the perfect collection Final Fantasy 4 that's on Vita, and PSP, where it's like the Super Nintendo version, which is up-res sprites, but it's before they started doing
the weird
sprites with like Final Fantasy VI, where they're awful looking. Like, to me, that's like my favorite version of the game because I can play it. It's got fast battles, you know, all that stuff. I can get through the game in 20 hours with doing everything.
Well, I'd like to see 6 at some point get like at least the Final Fantasy IX graphic fidelity treatment or the Dragon Quest VII level of treatment.
That'd
you know,
be amazing.
like a cool like update. But we could probably go about talking about this stuff for forever, and we should probably hit the road, hit the dusty trail, and get back to our prayers. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for the chats and the love and the games. Badoosh!
Yeah.
That's to us people that can feel things. It hurts.